Hello, jurors. It's Jennifer. I want to start off by saying that I am beyond excited to be able to um, give you a jury speech today. Before getting into the actual game, just to put you into context about how this means so much to me. I've been playing for about 2 years Survivor Orgs, and I've been to Final Tribal Council just once, and it was in my first ever org, which was actually in Superfans. It was season 13. I made it to final 3. I ended up with 3 votes to win, finished third. It was my first game. A lot's happened since then, including the fact that I've never made it back to Final Tribal Council. People don't usually want to go with me to Final Tribal Council. Now, I am here today. Hopefully, by the time you watch this, or rather later on in the night, I will make it to Final Tribal Council. And the reason why I'm here, there are many factors to that, and we are going to get into all of those factors. I apologize in advance because it's going to be really long, because I don't want to miss anything, and I never get the chance to do a Final Tribal Council speech, and I really want to do it right and say everything, not miss anything. And I will probably apologize a lot because I'm Canadian and it's just something that we do. We apologize at all times. So, okay. So now that you're in context of how incredibly excited I am to be here, let's get to it. So the game started with the bypass, which I did win the bypass. Christian won and I won. That does come from the fact of, being in the community for 2 years, knowing a lot of people. So I was happy to win that, but it's also kind of a curse, because then you're untouchable for 2 votes. And the further that goes into the game, the more people just want to get you out as soon as you don't have the bypass anymore. So I was really happy actually for it to be gone right away. So yeah, it was gone really soon. It was gone actually at the 3rd Tribal Council. So the second one I attended, of course. I didn't have any bypass anymore, and I was happy about that because I didn't seem untouchable to people. And as I could be voted out, so at that point I wasn't as much of a threat. Day 0, like before tribes, I connected really well with a few people, most notably Greg and Brianna. Now, you're going to hear a lot about Greg and Brianna in my speech because we've been in a 3-person alliance since day 1, since the tribes are made. It's called the Butterbeer Bitches, and it's the most amazing alliance I've ever been a part of. I could not be here right now if it wasn't for Greg and Brianna. And I think they'll probably say the same thing in their speech if they're in the finals, because it was such a team effort. We played this whole game together, every single vote, every single decision, A to Z. We talked everything through together. So definitely a group effort on the alliance. So that alliance got created day 1 when I chose Hogwarts, because as I was the bypass winner, I could actually choose my tribe. So that was an advantage for me. I had the choice between Beaubaton and Hogwarts. Now, I did have allies in Beaubaton, including Noah, and I had also connected pretty well with Ariel at that point. I did choose Hogwarts, though, because there was Greg, there was Brianna, and there was Jones. So I was like, okay, 2 here, 3 here. So I went with Hogwarts, and that was the best decision I could have done. Because right away, we were actually pulled into a Hogwarts alliance with, it was us 3 and Jones and Logan. So we had that alliance going, which at the first tribal that we went to, because the first tribal wasn't our tribe, the first tribal we went to, which was the second tribal, with our alliance, we were able to vote out Sharon. So Sharon was the first person out. I always kept communication open with everyone on my tribe. I think that's important. There's a lot of people in this game. We started out 26 people, and it's really time consuming and hard, I think, to keep up good relationships with every single person when there's 26 people in the tribe. So I was more concentrating on the people in my tribe at the time that I was in it, So I had conversations going with everyone on that tribe. But obviously, we did have a majority alliance, so I wasn't too worried at that point. Then we went to our second tribal where my bypass finished. So I was safe again that tribal. And once again, with our alliance, our Hogwarts alliance, we were able to vote out Daryl. At this point, I'm sorry, I have notes. I have like 3 pages of notes. I'm so sorry. I'm kind of nervous. Yes, at this point, we did not go back to tribal council at all at this point. So until we did the swap. So then we were split up. So Greg went on Hogwarts 2.0, whereas Brianna and I were on Beauxbatons 2.0. Now, as soon as I saw that I was with Noah, I was excited because I love Noah. We had never played together, but my God, his vote out was so hard for me. I'm going to get to that when we get to that vote, but that one was like, that was heartbreaking. So as soon as I saw that, Jones was still in the tribe, I was with Brianna, Noah was there, I was like, we're good, we're doing an alliance. We're doing an alliance right now. We're setting this up immediately. So I set up the Bobax bitches. I don't know why bitches keeps a recurring theme in my alliance names. I don't know why. I have no idea. So I set that up, and that, I mean, obviously, like the core for me was always with Greg, and Brianna, but that alliance, I love that alliance also. It was a top alliance for me, super loyal, we always talked everything through together as well. So that was done right away. And then also what happened is I was pulled into numerous alliances in Beauxbatons 2.0. But variations of like the same alliance, so there was like a big one with, Kinsey and Errol in it. Now it was very clear to me. I'm pretty good at reading people normally. And it was very clear, probably not just to me, but to everyone, that Ariel and Kinsey, were saying that they were together, but they were not together. I mean, they're, both kind of alpha females, so that was never going to work. And obviously they wanted to target each other right away, which was fine with me because, I mean, if you want to go after each other and just leave me out of it, leave me alone, I'm good with that. That's perfectly fine. Something that hurts me sometimes in games is I take too much of a front role. And in this game, because of the type of players I was playing with and the good relationships I developed, I was able to take more of a backseat role sometimes. Not a backseat role in terms of strategizing, because honestly, and anyone who played close with me can attest, I was on 24/7. Like, I was strategizing at every single time, always thinking, okay, well, after this move, what are we doing after this move, after this move? People can call it paranoid, people can call it strategizing, but I've been on at all times. So the fact that I didn't have to worry about my safety just made me be able to concentrate more on the strategic aspect of the game and where we were going with the votes. I say we because, once again, it was such a team effort with Brianna and Greg. Everything was discussed with them. So yeah, as I was saying, there's a lot of tension between Ariel and Kinsey. I kind of banked on that, where I just let them, go at it. I was aware of every single vote in this game, who was being voted out, when I was on the tribe, of course. So if it was a tribal I wasn't at all. When Greg was on the tribe, example for Hogwarts 2.0, I was aware because he was communicating with us what he was doing there. So Brianna and I knew what he was doing. But yeah, every single tribal I went to, I knew what the vote was happening, except for the Kinsey vote. So that one is the only time I got votes. I got 2 votes, one from Lamuel and one from Vicky. They had put votes on me in case Noah used the boomerang on Kinsey, which he did not use it on himself. So yeah, those are the only time I got votes. And right after, Lamuel came to me saying, we're good. I didn't want you to leave, actually. So we did talk a bit at that point. I wouldn't say we necessarily connected at that point, but we did talk somewhat. On Beauxbatons 2.0, there was, since we had, our alliances, there was like some sort of division as well. There was Trisha and Vicky, who were a bit on the outs of the alliance. Trisha, I do want to mention that I never spoke to Trisha. But what I always like to say is it's a two-way street. So Trisha never spoke to me either. So why that didn't happen, I couldn't say. Honestly, uh, I couldn't say why we never spoke. It just did not. It didn't happen. It was nothing against Trisha because I didn't speak to her, so I have absolutely no opinion on if we would have gotten along or not. What I can say in that sense is that, and this is something that I did a lot this game, which I don't normally do, but served me well in the context of this game, is I don't like to lie, okay? I don't like confrontation. I don't like to lie. It's just the type of person I am personally. I'm very loyal to the people I'm with, and I like to tell the truth. So if I wasn't working with someone, or if I knew I was voting them out, I would distance myself from the person. And not everyone plays that way. I don't always play that way, but I did play this way this game. And that's probably what happened with Trisha. It's just the fact that for a few votes, we knew that, Trisha was the next one we wanted to vote out just because we weren't aligned with her. So to me, to just communicate with her and, do some chit chat to just the very same night vote her out, I mean, I didn't want to do that. Like, just on a human side, it's not something that interests me. I don't like that. So to me, there's no added value to just lie to a person's face or be fake. So I didn't do that. So that would explain why I never spoke. Trisha's the only person I never spoke to in the game. So I just wanted everyone to know that because I don't like not talking to anyone in the game. So sorry. See, I'm apologizing. I'm Canadian. It's just what I do. So in Beaubaton 2.0, I was in a really good position, like I said, because of the various alliances. Obviously, the Kinsey vote, I did get votes. There were powers that were used that removed my vote and also removed Kinsey's vote. So that one I didn't know was coming. That one was a surprise to me as well. Kinsey did get voted out. Then there was the 10th tribal where I was not part of that. It was Hogwarts. Jody got voted out. And then the 11th, which was the final tribal before merge, and Dalton. So I was not present at either of those tribals. Then merge. So merge hit. And very first challenge, we don't get a tribal council because John unfortunately wasn't able to submit. So he was our juror number 1. As soon as merge hit, I had my people from the Bobax bitches that I was really close to. I had, of course, Greg. So immediately when merge hit, I made the Order of the Phoenix Alliance and brought together all my favorite people. So I brought together Greg, Brianna, Jones, Noah. And I love that alliance. Like, that was amazing to me. It was like the top. I loved it. At this point, since I was really close with Greg, I knew who he was working with on his side. And that's where we formed an 8-person alliance, majority alliance. I believe Waram ended up calling it Maids of Milking Alliance. Yeah. And that was with 4 Beaubaton 2.0 people. So myself, Brianna, Jones, Noah, and 4 from Hogwarts 2.0. So Greg, Lemuel, Sean, and Anthony. Obviously, Greg kind of seemed to be in this 4, but he was actually with us here. So we did have the numbers in that alliance. So yes, so that was for the first challenge. The second challenge was my first immunity. So I won individual immunity, and I decided to cave Jacob. Now that wasn't a random choice on my part. There were actually 2 reasons why I chose to do that. First reason, and is the reason I gave in main chat, was because he came second after myself, and I wanted to reward that because he was so close to winning, and I know how that feels. Which was the reason why I'm so sorry. I said he, they, them. I'm so sorry, Jacob. I'm so sorry. It's because I'm nervous. It's just because I'm nervous. You know I got you. I'm better now at the other pronouns. So I did want them to be safe. That was one part. Another part was he was not part of any alliances I was in. So I wasn't, they were not part of any alliances I was in. So I didn't know exactly where his vote was going. Their vote was going to lie. I'm going to kick myself. I'm so sorry. I'm getting flustered here. I didn't know where their vote was going to lie. So it for me was a strategic move to cave Jacob because I wanted them to see an effort of good faith on my part that they had done well and I had rewarded that, and at the same time, that way they weren't voting someone that I wanted to keep in the game. So that's why I decided to cave Jacob. So that was for that one. Then that tribal actually, Trisha was voted out. So Trisha left the game. Then the next challenge, I was cursed. Trisha cursed me, which I was not surprised. I was kind of expecting it. So Trisha, she cursed me. I did have my merge idol, and I hadn't had to use it yet because I didn't feel threatened. I didn't feel threatened at this point either. I talked, Greg and Brianna can attest to how all day I was nervous about, do I use my idol? Do I not use my idol? I ended up using my idol because I would have felt stupid if I would have gone home with the idol in my pocket. So I decided I'm going to use my idol, and I didn't get any other votes. I just got that, the cursed vote. But it's okay. At least it was like, the idol's gone. Let's just move forward. Let's move forward with the game. So that's what happened there. I'm sorry. Let me just check my notes. Okay. The other tribal afterwards, the 15th day, I won my second individual immunity. Yay! So I won my second individual immunity, and I decided to cave Sean. Now, I decided to cave, and this actually for me, this I feel was a pivotal moment in my game because by winning immunity, I decided to cave Sean because first of all, he was working, so there was always that aspect that he would just, feel safe. And also, I mean, myself and my allies, we saw how the game was progressing, and there was kind of a standstill at this point where we knew we were working together and we knew other people were working closely together. Sean and Anthony, they were all closer together. So at one point a move had to be made, and better be made by us than be made by them, which would have, changed the fact that I'm here today. So that's a vote that we voted Lamuel. And for me, that was a pivotal vote because I feel that completely changed the direction of the game. Like I said, the game was at a standstill, and that vote said, okay, well, we're going this way instead of going this way. So the Lamuel vote was a pivotal vote and a pivotal moment in my game to set myself up for being here today. Yes. Also, why, just the fact, because we wanted to vote someone from what we considered that side, even if they believed we were on their side, they were still like not in our main alliance. And the reason also why I chose Lamuel as the person to vote out is because we never spoke. Like he like I said, he reached out to me after voting me in the Kinsey vote to see are we good, but he never messaged me again. There was no strategic talk between us. He seemed like a very, very nice guy, but there was no connection there. And obviously he had voted me once before, so why wouldn't he do it again? So I just didn't trust him. And I was straightforward with anyone who asked me why I voted Lamuel. That is the exact answer I gave. Once again, being, truthful was a big part of my game. And I'm really proud of that, actually, for I've gotten here while being truthful. Something else I just want to bring to light at this point is there was there was many men in the game, many women in the game. However, I do think it's important to note that after Trisha's vote out at day 13. So from day 13 to today, day 22, Brianna and I have been the only women left in the game. So we've been outnumbered for a long time. In Survivor Superfan days, that's a long time, 10 days. So I just really wanted to put that out there because I am proud of both of us for making it here being the only two women left. All right. The next immunity, oh, yes, Tribal 16, Noah. That was the most difficult night for me because every single day I was afraid of the umbrella power at all times. I knew it was coming. I've never won any advantage in this game. I didn't win any this season either. And I was so afraid of any time. So we had this plan in place. Noah was going to play his idol nullifier. Noah did trust me a lot, and he had told me about the nullifier a few days prior when he had gotten it in the merge post. He did trust me with that, so even if my closest allies were Greg and Brianna, I never told them about the idol nullifier. Just so you know, Noah, I told you that, and it's true. I never told a soul. If I promise something, you know it's true. So Noah was going to play it on Sean because we knew Sean had a merge idol. So, but then Jacob pulls the umbrella power and plays it on Sean. That was such a good move, Jacob. My God. So that was an amazing move, but it got out Noah, and that was the saddest day. All of our alliance was so sad. I was sad in particular. Noah got robbed there. So I really hated that day. That for me was the worst. And I miss Noah. I think Noah should be hero as well. Then what happened? Then was the Sean vote. Yes, so day 17, Andre won the immunity. Now I'm kind of still salty on that immunity because I was at 14 and he got 15, and my stupid French autocorrect put Italy in French instead of English. Anyways, I would have liked to have won that one. But I was caved, so I was safe anyway, but I would have used it on Brianna. That was kind of my plan. I wanted to win, A, to get another immunity win, and B, to give it to Brianna. So she would be safe, of course, because that's the last night idols could be played. So we knew Greg was going to play one, Jacob was going to play one, Jones was going to play one. So there's not a lot of people left to vote, you know? So I was afraid that something could happen to Brianna, and I would not allow that. So unfortunately, I didn't win, but Sean got voted out. So he was cursed. Noah cursed him. So we voted out Sean at this point. And Sean was honestly such a good guy. Like, everyone loved Sean. And I think that was... I wouldn't say Sean's downfall because it's not a downfall to be an amazing guy. But everyone loved Sean. No one had anything bad to say about Sean, which is why, unfortunately, we had to vote Sean out, you know, because I couldn't have someone in the game that everyone loves, you know. I mean, the point is to get far and to win, and I'm pretty certain that Sean still being in the game, if we had left him in the game, he could have rallied allies and gotten myself, Greg, or Brianna out, and that would have defeated the purpose of having us in Final 3. So Sean unfortunately had to go, even though he's a really good guy and he loves marbles. So that was a revelation to me. I'm already at 23 minutes. I'm sorry. I just don't want to miss anything. Then was Andre's second self vote. So that sucked because Andre and I got along pretty well. We didn't talk as much as I would like, but I believe the time difference was the fault for that. But we got along great, and he was a good competitor. So I would have liked to have seen him in the final 6. Then was day 19, and this is actually the only vote I felt bad about the whole entire season, and that vote was for Vicky, because at this point, there's not a lot of people left, right, in the game at this point, so I was, with my people, with Jones, with Brianna, with Greg, and on the outskirts were Vicky, Logan, and Anthony. So we still had the Hogwarts chat with Logan. We did a chat with Anthony to secure Anthony's vote so he wouldn't, want to go against us. And we also did a chat with Vicky to do the same thing, secure Vicky so Vicky wouldn't want to go against us. So unfortunately, and at this point I just want to say I hadn't spoken a lot with Jacob at this point. I did learn in the days that followed how amazing they are. But at this point, the connection, we didn't have a very big connection. So he was the target of our alliance. and he won immunity because Jacob, they went on a spree. Like, they did so well for so many rounds. It was pretty amazing, actually. Um, so since he won, our choices, we didn't want to vote Logan because Logan didn't perform as well in challenges, so we wanted to keep Logan. So our choices were Vicky or Anthony, and everyone seemed to be more on board with keeping Anthony, so we had to vote Vicky. And I do honestly think, well, from what I saw and from what he said, I do honestly think that the vote hurt Vicky. And so for me, that vote that I had to do is the only one. I don't regret it because it brought me to where I am now and it had to be done to further my alliance. However, I do feel bad because I think he felt bad and I don't like making people feel bad. So I just wanted to say I'm sorry about that one. Even though it had to be done, I'm sorry for getting your hopes up. You seem like a very nice person. We just didn't align, we didn't align sooner. So by the time we did, it was unfortunately too late. Then the next tribal was Anthony. Right. So Jacob won again because they were on fire. Seriously, I was impressed. I told them I was impressed because I really was impressed. So they won immunity. And so at this point, once again, it's Logan or Anthony. Logan hadn't shown a lot of promise in challenges. So at this point, we did vote Anthony and kept Logan. So we get to finally Universal Power, and we hear that it's going to be like rock, paper, scissors. So, and at this point, it was matchups, and I won the first matchup. I won my second matchup, and I ended up going against Logan in the third matchup. Now, and our Supreme King, Wariam, says that this is how we do it, so it's okay. I understand. However, I won 2 rounds, Logan won 2 rounds, but he only had to play twice because his name was L, so he played last. Anyways, I think it could have been done differently, but Logan ended up winning and honestly ended up being perfect for my game because, and at this point, I thought I was going home 100%. I was like, because I had heard Logan throw my name out. I had heard that he had thrown my name out by Jacob and by Greg. So I was like, he is getting my ass. He is getting me out of here. I was like, so close. Because I knew as soon as I passed Universal Power, everything was in my hands, not in anyone else's hands. Could not be voted out anymore. So, and I knew I could take my game and my fate in my hands, which I did. And he didn't use it on me. He used it on Jacob, which honestly was a smart idea. I think people were rooting for Jacob. And they did great. They did so good in the last few rounds when their back was against the wall. So, and it was a smart play by Logan, honestly, because if I would have won, I don't know what I would have done. Initially, it would have been for sure Jacob, they're out of here. However, I really got to know him in the last few days, and I really appreciated them. So we both kind of had the same mindset where we just wanted our shot, we wanted a chance to be able to fight to the end. So I may have kept Jacob. I don't know. I didn't win, so I didn't have to do that decision. I'm sorry about the sun in my face. It's really bothersome. Here we go. So he got voted out by Universal Power, and then we got on yesterday to the road to Final 3 with the Capitals competition, which... even though there's not just one winner, because we're, 4 that won and 1 that was out, who was Zach. However, I do want to say that I did finish first, so I do consider that a win. I finished first to 15 points. And now that recaps the season. Now, a few things I want to add to this, and it's been 30 minutes. If you're still listening, I mean, kudos to you. So just to recap, I am here today for a few reasons. One of those reasons is the amazing allies I made along the way. Greg, Brianna, Noah, Jones. Those are my people, okay? I couldn't have made it here without them. The second reason why I'm here now is strategizing. I was strategizing literally 24/7. So if some of you have the impression I didn't talk to you much, it was really because I just didn't want to be fake with you. I didn't want to come talk to you and be like, hey, how's it going? When in fact I was voting you out the same night. I just didn't have the energy to do that. It's not the type of game I wanted to play, and I didn't have to play this game, and I appreciate that I didn't have to do it. The only person I had to do it with was Vicky, and that's why I apologize for that. The other reason why I'm here now is competitions. So I was able to pull out 2 immunity wins, 3 if you count the 15 points that I got to first. Also, by pulling some statistics, I was able to see that overall, sorry, I have it here. I have it here. Yes. So in all the live challenges, I ended up being second highest for points in all overall live challenges, and all creative, I've been in the top 3. I've been, top 3 for all overall creative, and overall the whole game, I've been second in points, just behind Greg. So I'm really proud of that. I was never highest pointer for my team. However, I always performed really well, as those statistics show. So I'm really proud of my of what I contributed to the tribe when we were in tribes. I think I did really well in that aspect. Also, I was very authentic. I really want to put that on the table because not all the games I've played have been authentic, but this one I really have, and I'm really proud of it. I created genuine connections. Sometimes later in the game, sometimes earlier in the game, like Jacob, I think you and I created a really good connection, and I'm sorry that it ended when it did. I wish we could have, connected earlier in the game. Other people I met, that was brief connections, but I still really appreciated them. And every single person that is watching this video now helped me get where I am. And for that, I can't thank you enough, because I am over the moon to be in Final 3, representing the season of Survivor. Goblet of Fire. So, in conclusion, I think you should vote me as the sole survivor of Season 39 Superfans Goblet of Fire. Why? Because I believe that I've outwit my 2 compadres in Final Tribal Council with me. Like I said, I was always thinking a few moves ahead. Yes, we did the strategizing together, but I brought a lot of new elements to the table. And we bounced ideas off each other, but I brought interesting ideas, and I brought interesting moves, and I think I was able to help our alliance progress, and obviously we did, because we're here now. And I was able to give myself a powerful spot in the game. A few times in the game, I heard that, I needed to be taken out, like Brianna and myself were running the game, which could seem strange, because some people could say, but what was she actually doing? I was doing a lot. It was not forefront, and it was not in your face, but it was there, and it worked, because I am here. I am here now, and I'm proud of that. I outlasted, because obviously I am once again here today on day 2339, if we want to talk in Survivor terms. And I do believe that I've outplayed my, which is hard to say, because the 2 people sitting next to me, if it's Greg and Brianna, like I believe it's going to be tonight, they've played amazing games as well. I am not going to throw them under the bus. It's not the type of person I am. I want to win this season so bad. I wanted to win a Survivor season so badly. And if it's tonight that I get to win, it will just be full circle for me. From playing my first ever Oregon Superfans and making it to finals, to playing Season 39 and making it to finals and winning. I would just be honored to represent the season and to be the person you consider to be the sole survivor. I hope that the moves I did, the connections I created, the competitions that I won or performed really well on, I hope that these are all aspects that can make you consider voting for me tonight and showing that playing, a kind of low key but strategic and authentic and genuine game, that could get you to the end and that could get you a win. So I hope you'll consider me. Thank you so much for whoever watched all of this. You're all amazing because it's 35 minutes and I'm sorry about that. I'm apologizing again. Thank you for the season. Thank you for the host. And thank you to Brianna and Greg. I met two friends for life and I'll forever be grateful for that. Bye, everyone.